All right, so we're here with Jerry Retzloff, and we're at the Wittliff, and we're looking at the contributions to the display here. Go ahead, Jerry.
Okay.
What do we got?
I bought all the items for Lone Star, and this guy said he could make a jacket back out of a poster, and here it is right here. It's Old Friends, the Sam Yates poster, and a man at a bar with armadillo on his shoulder.
That's really nice, nice embroidery work.
Got my name on the front. And this here was this was the Fun Seekers party here, and in 1985, the year before sesquicentennial, we wanted to get ready for it. So me and Red Caldwell from the university here got together and rewrote the decoration, letting the Yankees know how to behave when they came down here. And by that time, Lone Star was owned by Yankees, so it was nothing bad or against anybody. So with my sister-in-law's help, we did a primary, everything legal. I had Ed Fernbach from San Antonio as my historian guide, and legally, Paula Marvel was my legal guide. And here's the primary. I flew to LA to meet Willie and asked him if we could have it on the river at the Pedernales at his place, the Western Town Luck. And here we are, and there's me signing, and my wife, and the distributor, and the Manny Gammy's Texas Hatters, and my brother, and there's Willie Nelson, and there's Sam Yates, and there's Billy Gibbons, and everybody's in there.
What a classic shot.
And I'm the Fun Seekers. I had a Fun Seekers Club, so what I did was I wanted 150 people for the party. Nobody could drive a car up to Willie's Town. Everybody had to ride in a covered wagon up. I had covered wagons bringing them up, and they came up to Willie's Town, and I sent them an invitation. I said, in 25 words or less, tell me why you want to be a fun seeker. And I got 150 answers that I liked, so I got them, and we had a lot of them here today. Here's my briefcase I carried. And this is what I looked like before when I came to Austin, but I had to be part of Austin, so that's me taking care of the girls at the golf course when all the guys played golf in George Strait back in 76 or 7 at the Opry House. Stevie Ray Vaughan on a Steamboat River ride in Austin, and Ray Charles and me at CMA. And Ray Charles, I've known him since 1955. And this is my aluminum Secret Service case that I carried with me on the airplane with all backstage passes.
That's going to give to his nephew?
And I'm gonna
Hi there, Scott.
That's Scott. And Willie told in his Lone Star interview, and Willie and Leon Russell in '74 at the picnic. He said I got him drunk on Lone Star because he was using 3-2 beer in Oklahoma and he couldn't take the alcohol.
Tell us a story about the drinker's glove. That's a classic.
Well, yeah, Michael Jackson had a glove, white glove, so we figured that we could use one for a drinking glove, so we made the Lone Star drinking glove and sold 1 million of them, and everybody used that as their drinking glove. and
Classic.
That picture, that's Susan St. James, Steve Fromholz making Outlaw Blues, and my real good friend Ray, who from the Sleep at the Wheel, Benson, who I first put on Lone Star radio ads when he first came to Austin from Washington, D.C. Me and Larry Trader and Willie and Sammy Allred at a symphony benefit on the river in Austin, and Sam Yates hosted.
Nice. And then you got BW and Rusty and Fromholz down here.
Yeah, they're all in the picture there.
I watched that film this morning, Jerry. That one right there.
Well, I want to see it again.
Now,
now this stuff over here is... Hi. Okay. This stuff here, the stuff from Willie's stuff here, I better not talk about this. Anyway, Willie was with a friend at a Driscoll Hotel, and his wife found out and threw all this stuff out on the grass and his front lawn, and we picked it up, and here it is. It's him in his old real old writings, first writings he ever did.
Whoa.
Songs of Willie Nelson. This is Willie at a Lone Star. We had him at 6 different Lone Star annual conventions. Willie for President, T-shirt, Honker to Love Willie. And this is all Willie stuff, his front yard stuff here, all Willie's. This is Mom and Pop Nelson, where Willie bought a ice house for him in Austin on Lamar, South Lamar. And all kind of things happened out there. And this is some more of Willie's books and stuff.
Now, there's Willie and Daryl, right?
And Daryl
Who's this?
is here someplace.
Down here?
He's here someplace. No, that's not Daryl. That's in New York where Willie's doing something.
Wild. So what do you think about this whole exhibit? I mean,
Oh, it's been tremendously. This is Katie, the head archivist, and she can tell you the success stories.
Katie.
I am very, very personal. You've done a great job. Nice to meet you. That's me.
Katie, Steve Peeples from LA. Okay.
How are you? Yes,
I'm fine.
yes.
She wants to know, was this a success, the whole 70s exhibit?
I think so. I think the crowd speaks for itself. We've had a lot of fun with both the Homegrown event and this one. Biggest crowd, the Homegrown event was actually the biggest crowd we've had. We had about 450 people for that. We opened up our wall and loads of fun. So
Super.
students are loving it. It's great. You know, we're an academic institution, so it's nice for the students to come up and see something a little different.
Well, it's also nice that they're interested in this particular period and these artifacts in particular.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of them grew up. Their parents telling the stories, and
They kind of grew up with the culture, but they didn't really know about it.
Right. Or they're seeing the benefits of it now with a lot of these bands now that are influenced by all of these guys, music-wise as well as artistically. So.
Now, you told me earlier this is a collaborative effort to put this thing together. About how many people do you think collaborated on the various pieces of this
You mean as
exhibit?
as far as donors or as far as people working on it?
No, I mean not the donors, but the people putting it together.
The people putting it together for the Homegrown exhibit, it was the official co-curators were myself and Alan Schaefer, and but we worked with our publications and marketing person, our events people. So pretty much anytime we do an event, it's a lot of people involved. I don't know, Matt, answering your
I think I'm looking more for the curation side of it as opposed to the marketing side.
Well, the curation side it all stemmed from this collection by Tom Wilmore, and so he gave us about, for the Homegrown exhibit, he gave us about 250 posters. And as we were looking through them, we realized he basically handed us an exhibit in a collection. I mean, it was incredibly, and we like to use the term representative. It was from the gamut. There was stuff from the Vulcan all the way to the punk era. There were the blues portraits, there was all the Texas, there were the traveling bands, all of that. And then as we were kind of finalizing and picking and we came up with those kind of clusters, there were some gaps we needed to fill. So, and we were also interviewing the artists and we interviewed Jim Franklin, Micael Priest, Danny Garrett, and Kerry Awn. They all came in and spent several hours each with the posters and with us just talking about them, storytelling. And
at the same time?
We had Micael and Danny at the same time, and then we had Kerry alone and Jim alone, and then we brought Danny back alone because Micael had a lot to say, and we didn't get to hear as much from Danny. So in talking with the artists, that actually helped Alan and me kind of focus how we were going to arrange the show, and that's where the main 5 themes came out. Danny is the one who pretty much handed us the blues portraits theme by talking about Antones and the respectful portraits of the blues artists. And so,
and what are the other 4 themes?
The Vulcan is a theme in itself, kind of the genesis.
Right.
The Vulcan, the blues portraits, reimagining Texas. So kind of taking the Texas, the icons of Texas, the cactus, the cowboy, the horse, the landscapes, and reimagining them. Then traveling acts and the punk. So those were our kind of 5 of categories. So once we had those, then we figured, we also had limited space, and we knew how many kind of posters would fit in each. So some we had to really cull because we had a lot of the kind of the Texas, and we had a lot of the traveling acts. But then we realized we didn't have as many Gilbert Sheltons as we would like for the Vulcan. We needed some more of Danny's for the blues, and so we actually were able to acquire posters, a handful. Most of them.
You know what to go look for.
We knew what to look for. We knew, and we went straight to the sources. So we acquired some from Danny. We also acquired some punk ones. Jesse Sublett, who's been gifting his papers to us, he had some of the stuff from the Skunks in the early punk days. And we reached out to Houston White for some of the Vulcan posters, especially Gilbert Shelton ones. So they all, in a sense, they all helped us curate the show by what we kind of were able to pull from their personal archive.
They kind of defined it by what they contributed.
Yes, yeah, and what was available as well. So, and we really do. We consider it a very representative. We don't consider it comprehensive. There's so many pieces that we don't have. But we're actually, through that event, and like I was just talking with someone tonight, people are coming out of the woodwork giving us posters. Like, you don't have this, you need this for your, which is fantastic. That's
even
wonderful.
More gaps.
Yeah, exactly. So it was me and Alan, and then the art. I consider the artists, really having helped with that, and then also the club owners, Houston White, and then we already also had Doug Brown from the Oat Willies. He had gifted all of his original artwork, and so I don't know if you saw the case for the Oat Willies. It's in the traveling room.
Willie? Yeah.
The Oat Willies. That's all stuff that Doug had given us, and it's all what we really liked about it, and what we emphasized in this was all those same artists doing the original artwork and drawing for the same character, and the same, that was kind of neat to see. There was Michael, there was Jim, there was Kerry. They were all doing the same stuff. So it's neat.
Well, we're kids in Florida reading the fabulous Furry Freak Brothers and seeing all of these Austin references and so forth, and so it kind of made sense. There was a kind of a cultural, and Joe talked about this a little bit, a cultural flow between Austin and some of the other musical centers and artistic centers.
Right.
But then others started to come here as opposed to the other way around, which is kind of neat.
And I also like the idea, and a lot of the guys left briefly and then came back. And when they came back, really brought, an enhanced aesthetic, that they applied here, that they really, kind of created. And some of that, was influenced by having gone to San Francisco or out to New York. And what I think is really cool is at the same time, the musicians, it was a very similar thing going on in the music scene. We've got Willie Nelson, who'd gone off to Nashville, coming back. Jerry Jeff, who was from New York, coming down. And so you've got that kind of, that synergy going on with the music reinventing itself in a new way and the art reinventing itself in a new way. And it really just came together in Austin at that time period.
Well, I think it comes together very nicely here, even if it is representative and not comprehensive.
Yes.
But you'll have to do another one.
We're working on comprehensive. Yeah.
Redux. Phase 2, yes. Encore.
So, yeah.
All right, so the exhibit opened when and it closes when?
It opened January 12th and it closes July 3rd.
Okay.
And it's free, and it's here, and we're open weekdays, and then we're open Thursday nights, and we're open on the weekends for limited hours, but we have some hours on the weekends.
Very good. Well, thanks very much for spending a couple of minutes with me, Katie,
You're welcome.
and telling me about it.
This has been a lot of fun.